Pro Boxing fans here with none other than Hall of Famer Froch. Carl, we've not had time to talk to you since you've been inducted to the Hall of Fame. First of all, well deserved. You've been one of the greatest, fighters to come out of these shows in the last couple of decades. How's that feeling been when you put all that hard work into the gym and finally you get that recognition?
You know what I've just realised? I give Kugan Cassius 15, maybe even 20 minutes, and you never mention the Hall of Fame. Hey, you never mention the Hall of Fame.
You flopped.
We got 20 minutes and you never mentioned the Hall of Fame. That's all right. I remembered. Yeah, thank you very much for that acknowledgement. It's a real pleasure and an honour to be acknowledged as a Hall of Famer, and to get that stamp of authority and that seal of approval on your career. Obviously, it's amazing. We're just at the minute organising flights and logistics to get out to, is it Canasota? Near New York, right? Somewhere up there neck of the woods, northeast America. So yeah, looking forward to going out there. I'm going to go out there with my wife and get my hand cast in stone and meet all the old legends and get my name put up there with all the amazing fighters over the last, 100 years old? I don't even know how old it is, but some of the names in there go back, and to have my name up there with them, yes, it's just amazing. It is amazing. It's fantastic.
Obviously, people want to emulate what you've done. Obviously, become a world champion a couple of times. Provide exciting fights. I can't remember a Carl Froch fight that wasn't exciting and entertaining. Leigh Wood on Saturday night has talked about you a lot. You're his inspiration. He wanted to fight in your cards and everything else. But talk to me about Leigh Wood in a big fight against Mauricio Lara. How do you see this one playing out? Because it's a very hard voluntary defence for him.
It is, yeah. It's really, really tough fight. I mean, he's brave taking it. Lara's only, 24, 25 years old, and I think he's unbeaten. I know he lost, I can't say he's unbeaten, he lost his debut, and the Mexicans shook him in there in the deep end early doors, and he lost a close fight. And then I watched him in a body shot, got dropped with a body shot in one of his fights through the middle of his career, and that was a loss. The referee he didn't beat the count, so the ref waved it off, and he got up and he was like, I'm all right. So he can be hurt to the body, because he's been hurt to the body before. He came back to win that second one, he got hurt to the body. But regardless of that, Lara is one hell of a fighter, a real tough kid, young, ambitious, and it's just an hard fight for Leigh Wood. But it was the underdog in the Conlon fight, and you could see why. He got dropped early and he got hurt a few times, but he kept biting down on that gum shield. He kept believing in himself, he kept working away, and in the last round he got the stoppage, and it was an amazing comeback. He snatched victory there from the jaws of defeat, as they say, and it was just an amazing night in Nottingham. And I think if it was anywhere else in the world and not Nottingham, he might not be able to pull that out, because when you fight at home in Nottingham, I'm from Nottingham myself, and I know what it's like to fight in front of the home crowd with all your family and friends there that you went to school with. It just brings that little bit of extra. When you get kicked on the chin and your legs are gone, it don't often happen to me, but when you're hurt, you just think to yourself, no you don't, I'm still here, mate, and I'm coming for you. And you refuse to quit, you refuse to give up, you don't even want to look at defeat, and that's what Wood did against Conlon. And I think he's going to need to do that again against Lara, and he's going to have to work, he's going to have to be busy, he's going to have to watch, you don't get clipped on the chin because Lara can punch. He's tricky in cage anyway, Leigh Wood. He's got that unorthodox Brendan Ingle type of style in with his work. He spent a few years up there, and I know it's with Ben Davison now, who's I think is a great trainer. He gets his critics, but I think he's a great trainer, and he brings the best out of Leigh Wood. And I think it's a fight that Leigh Wood can definitely win. Whether or not he does, I mean, I'm picking him to win because I want him to win, and it's not just a biased decision. I think it's his time, and he can pull off the upset against the favourite Lara. And if he does do this, then Eddie Hearn needs to get him a fight at the City Ground against someone like Josh Warrington, because that will be massive.
It will be. I do want to move on quickly because I know you're going to be on air soon. I know you're here because you're a gun on hire on Fight Night, so people are hiring you out to give your thoughts. But let's talk about Anthony Joshua. He's announced his fight with Jermaine Franklin. Obviously coming off 2 losses to Alexander Usyk. There's a lot of people sort of not criticising but talking about the level of opponent that he's facing right now. Do you believe Jermaine Franklin is the right opponent at this time of his career?
You know what, he's had a long time out since the Usyk loss, and he's got back-to-back defeats against Usyk, who's let's not forget, Usyk's a ridiculously talented fighter. Look at his career. If you're not seeing much of Usyk, look at his amateur record, Olympic champion, and he's just so smart and so technical. And AJ fought the wrong fight. I think in the rematch he should have gone for it more, and he should have let more shots go and used his weight and his strengths a little bit earlier. But he did that at stages, and then he was breathing heavy, so it's hard for him. He's a big lad, AJ, big, strong guy. But if you use that energy, say you've got a stamina bar 100%, use it all up in the first 4 or 5 rounds. That's what I did against Lucian Bute. Just empty the tank. You can still keep going after that. You have a breather, you have a round off, but you can destroy your opponent. And I think that's what he should have done against Usyk in that first fight. But the reason I don't think he did it is he didn't have the confidence, he didn't believe in himself. So the Franklin fight might be a rebuilder with a new coach to just get a little bit of belief back. He's got time on his side, he's got the name, so why not? You know, but you can't have too many Franklins. And I'm not writing Franklin, I forgive Dylan White a good fight. But there's levels in this game. There's levels, and I just think that if he wants to become a world champion, he wants to be at the top of his game again, he needs to step it up. So he can have the Franklin fight, because he's had a long time out of the ring, and he's coming off 2 losses. But he can't have any more. It's got to be sensible stuff next time. It's got to be someone in the top 3 or 4. I mean, the talking I've just spoke to Eddie Hearn, he talked about potentially the fight with Tyson Fury straight away after this. I mean, that's a great fight and a fight that everybody wants to see. But can AJ win it? Who knows? It's a tough one.
You know, in a fighter's position, Leigh Wood said yesterday that he's very headstrong. Doesn't matter about all his attributes. Mentally, he's got it there. A lot of people are talking about AJ being mentally possibly weak after the last Usyk fight. We saw he broke down in the ring. We saw what happened there. How important is it that you're mentally strong before you get into a fight? How much do you need to love fighting? How much do you need to love boxing?
Yeah, you've got to be mentally strong. You've got to get in there and totally 100% believe in yourself. I spent a lot of times, a lot of years in the amateur, because I come back in when I was 19, and I didn't have that belief that I could actually achieve anything, because I was like just boxing to get fit. And when I got chucked in the ABAs, I was like, bloody hell, national championship. I got to the final, lost to a guy called Chris Bessie, but I never had that belief. Then I got picked to box for England. I was like, bloody hell, I'm boxing for England. What's going on? A couple of weeks ago, I was smoking weed, and now I'm boxing for England. You know what I mean? And I never had that belief, but it got my confidence and my belief, just fighting more and more and more. And as soon as you get that belief, and you're involved in them fights where you win the ABAs, then you win a medal for the England in the World Championships, or you win a British title, you then stop being negative and start thinking to yourself, I'm not giving myself every chance here. I'm doubting myself. Leigh Wood, I don't think he's ever had that. I think he's always been full of self-belief. He watched my career all the way through, and I spoke to him over the years. And the Conlon fight showed that. He got dropped in was it round 1 when he got dropped? And he got clipped a few times, he was badly hurt during the whole fight, and then he pulls that victory off in round 12. So going into this fight with Lara, I'm confident that the last thing that's going to be worried about, or I'm worried about for him, is his mindset. He will be going in there thinking, if I clip Lara often enough, keep out his way, be tricky, I can either beat him on points or stop him late. I'm sure he'll believe that, and he'll think that, and he should do it all.
Finally, your good old pal Simon Jordan, who met you the other week, showed a lot of love, but he has said that if you and Joe Calzaghe fought in your prime, Joe would beat you. What do you say to that?
Listen, that's a fair enough assessment, and you've got to give him his credit. I did say when people say to me what happens with you and Calzaghe, I say Calzaghe either beats me on points or I knock him out. And it's really hard to knock out Calzaghe because he's tough, fist and tough and strong. But I back myself to knock him out. Simon Jordan thinks that Joe Calzaghe will beat me on points. That's a fair enough assessment. I ain't going to argue with him. I respect his honest opinion. But when I see him, I'll be having a word with him.
Well, Froch, thank you so much for giving us your time. Good luck with flying out and getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. And we'll catch up with you soon. Thank you very much.